Okay, I think still waiting for it to load. I think we are in. Yay. Right, so now let's record. Okay, so this is. I can hear myself. Oh, here, yeah. There, I'll mute the video. Okay. There, and I think I'm recording also. So welcome, beautiful goddesses, to our weekly Empowered Goddess Coffee Chat with the goddesses of the Round Table. We were doing these every week, but we kind of took a hiatus, and now we're back ready to drink some more coffee with you and have some amazing discussions. And today I have Ramona, and we also have Lena with us. And as usual, if anybody wants to join us on Zoom and be in the call with us, you can do that. I will share for those watching on YouTube, I will share the Zoom link in the comments, and you'll be able to join us in. So today, a little bit about me. Well, my name is Wendy, and I'm your Divine Feminine Holistic Wellness Coach. I became a coach because I had a lot of challenges in my life. My goal and mission is to help women, and specifically moms, to overcome postpartum depression. I'm a coach. I love to coach women and to unleash their inner goddesses. But very recently, I decided to also focus on moms, because there are a lot of moms out there struggling with postpartum depression, and some that even have that are my age with older kids and stuff like that, and they still feel the effects of it, because I mean, it's not a topic that's talked about a lot. So yeah, so I'm very excited about that, and I'm really happy to be live here with you all. So now I'm gonna give the mic to Ramona, and she can tell us a little bit about her.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Wendy, for having me here. And it's nice to meet you, Lena. My name is Ramona Miles, and I currently reside in Cairo, Egypt. Not too far, but far enough from Wendy. At least where we could get to each other when we finally meet. My background is I'm an independent researcher of ancient Egyptian history with a couple of other things that I like to mingle and mix in. Currently, I am a business tech coach for spiritual business owners, and I have a magazine that where I help women over 50 with their businesses. So what brings me here is Wendy's energy about just being that goddess, and taking care of yourself. And when she talked about postpartum, I remember a few years back, I didn't know, after my youngest was in his late teens, that I was still having postpartum issues. I only thought that happened to young mothers, babies who were very young. But I learned that our bodies don't heal properly after each birth. And so we carry on these issues forever. It doesn't end. And sometimes it's not just physical, it stems and stays and takes root with us emotionally. And it's something that I'm glad you're doing, something that you're really looking into and being able to help women, because we need this. We really need it.
It is, it's
Yeah.
very much needed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I know when I was going through it, I felt like I was alone.
yeah.
I felt, and of course, I was comparing myself with all the other moms. Like I used to go like to, I don't know, there was this community center where we met. It was like a meeting every week where we would go and, meet up other moms with kids. And I
Mhm.
felt like like I stood out like a sore thumb. I
Oh
was
yeah.
always, yeah, and I didn't have the tools, and it's not something that's talked about a lot, especially like way back when it was
Hmm.
basically
Yeah.
not talked about at all. So, yeah, so, and I know a lot of moms are struggling or have struggled and are still struggling
Still
to this
struggling. Yeah.
day. So, yeah, that's my mission.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And Lena, do you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Lena Blanchard, and I come from a small community called Saint Charles in New Brunswick, Canada. And myself, I started my spiritual journey now since 2018, but I always knew since a young child, I'd say I, as far as I can remember, five, my first experience. And I had never shared it until 2018. My one of my ancestors, my great grandmother, had passed, and one night she was sitting at the end of my bed, and she was as alive as I am right here, right now, but she had passed. So I knew from that day that something, I there was something more to the energy. I'm going to put it that way. So yeah, I started there, and I met Wendy here through Facebook. I believe Wendy a year and a half, maybe now.
Give or take, yes. I think it was part when we were it was part of the community gateway. That's where I connected with you. I
Yeah,
had spoken on the summit there, so yeah,
yeah,
and it was the foundation of a very soulful relationship and connection with you. And I'm blessed
yeah,
to have you here.
yeah. That's where I believe that energies are meant to people come in and out of our lives. People come to stay, and people just make a wave, as you will. Um, but you made a big wave in my life, and I want to thank you for that. So yeah, that's me.
And by the way, for those of you, I've never met Lena in person. The funny thing is that they know how we meet and connect with people. I had to fly across the world and move all the way to Egypt to connect with Lena. But Lena comes from, I come from like maybe 30 minutes from where she is from. But we never met in person. But
That's
I
amazing.
can guarantee you, Lena, when I do set foot on Canadian soil and New Brunswick soil, I will come and give you a big hug.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Can't wait either. Yeah, so yeah, it's
I want to thank you for everything you do for the women out there.
oh, it's my pleasure.
You have a beautiful group.
I love our group. Yeah, it's growing. It's when I first I haven't participated in it too much lately because I'm busy doing a lot of stuff. Like for the postpartum, I'm going to be hosting a free workshop for postpartum moms. So I've been kind of like getting that ready, and I also do translation work on the side. Everything. So you have to have multiple streams of income to survive these days.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm looking forward to I had missed these calls, and I had missed the group and everything like that. So I'm looking forward to now. I think I'm back on track, and we'll be able to move forward and have these calls every week and all that. So I love our group too. Yeah, because we're all goddesses, and most of us women, we don't realize that we are, because of our limiting beliefs and because of societal conditioning. You know, we're supposed to push all that down and just, you know, follow everybody. But you know what? We are goddesses. We're all goddesses. We just need to find it, find the crown, you know, or that straighten that crooked crown of ours. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
these are amazing times.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree too. Yeah.
100%. It's something that you mentioned, having to fly all the way away to be able to meet someone, and I'm finding that to happen more often when I'm talking to people. You know, they're meeting each other, or they meet someone for the first time, but this isn't where they're meeting, is not their home. And then in conversation they find out, oh my gosh, we like live in the same city, or in some one time it was the same neighborhood, you know. It's amazing how when that happens, you know, I like to question, like, why would that even have to happen, right?
Right.
Why
Yeah.
couldn't you have run into each other at a grocery store, in a shopping mall, you know, or whatever? But it would definitely be the energy
The
and
energy.
the timeline, the time set when, you know, you're supposed to meet. You know, you had to be the person you were when you met.
And there's no coincidences, right? So
Oh
like
no.
same like me, like if I hadn't come to live in Egypt, well, I might have I might have met you, Ramona. But I connected with you on a business challenge, and then we just started to talk. And like when I heard that
Yeah.
you were in Egypt, I'm like, oh yay, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so we meet people at just at the right time, I guess, in
Yeah.
our life. It's pretty
Mhm.
exciting. So, and I noticed that Liman has joined us. Hello, Liman. How are
Hey.
you? Welcome to our call. Yeah,
I think it's probably still loading up for her.
it's possible, yeah. It can sometimes take
You
time
know
to.
how Zoom is. The audio, everything has to load up, then the audio is the last thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Or it
but
could
like
be
there's,
just her. She's still getting ready, you know.
it's possible, yeah. It's very possible. But yeah, so yeah, Lena, tell before we got live, we were talking about how Lena brought her granddaughter, Brooklyn, to visit Fairyland and collect moon water. So it's a very interesting topic. So I think that's what we're going to be talking about today. Well, it'll probably end up.
So share where Fairyland is, because I haven't shared that.
Yeah, you can
Uh,
share that. Yes.
it's at a couple that I know, a shaman couple here in Satingas. Her name is Janice Johnson, and him is Pierre Garo. He's from Peru. So he's a shaman from Peru. And at her place, they did a Fairyland in the back of their home, and it's in the forest. But
Oh, wow.
before you enter the forest, she's got this little stop sign with the yellow, green, and red light. And before you enter into Fairyland, you got to give an intention. And also, when you get out of Fairyland, once you visit the Fairyland, which is amazing, she has a limbaran, I think it's called, where you walk.
Oh, labyrinth.
Yeah.
Labyrinth, yeah.
Yes, I have a hard time with my English. Sorry, girls. So yeah, so you can walk there and also give intention. And Brooklyn loves it there. She says, Mamere, I feel like I'm home here. And
Wow.
she's 7 years old. She's going to be 8 in July.
Yeah.
So
And
amazing.
we both go for healings there. And I started taking my shaman course. I only did my first quarter. I fell behind because I had my granddaughter living here with me, and she moved out last week. So I'm still in contact with her. We're still connected. I'll always stay connected. She's not out of my life. Uh, but I'm going to be able to do now what I need to do to heal and go forward in life.
Awesome.
That's that exactly. And yeah, and you're an amazing mimir. You're an amazing mimir because you know she lives with you sometimes, and then sometimes she goes and she comes and goes. And when
Yeah.
her time spent with you, I'm sure like you're making memories together, and she's always going to carry that with her,
Oh,
like even when
definitely.
she's not with you. So
Yeah.
it's that's so amazing. But whenever I do go visit New Brunswick, you'll have to take me to that fairyland. I need to go see it.
Oh, it's
Yeah, it
beautiful.
sounds amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's amazing.
Even
Yeah.
have some hammocks.
Hmm.
They do night meditation. So it's at night and they're zipped ones, so the bugs don't bug you.
Oh,
It's
wow.
beautiful. It's a beautiful place. They really
Like
did an awesome job.
like on a full moon, I'm sure it would be
Oh,
Oh,
amazing.
yeah.
Wendy, it's I'm telling you, yeah, you're gonna have to come.
Yes, I
Yeah.
will. I'll definitely. I'll stop with the airplane, then I'll go right there.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's oh, it looks so. Have they had that place for a long time? I never heard of it, so it must be quite
It's called
new.
Inzen. Her healing because they have a healing room and everything, and they rent places and stuff. It's called Inzen Wellness Center.
Okay.
Insane. Wow. You have to share that
And
link with us. So if there's a
Yeah, I
website or
will.
something, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll
Wow.
send it.
you can share it.
Want to share it, then you'll be able to because they have videos that you can see, like you see
Oh,
everything, like yeah, because they got a drone to take pictures.
oh my goodness.
You just gotta
Oh,
take one. It's beautiful.
oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I'll
I can't
share
wait
the
to
link.
see.
I can't wait to see it. So welcome, Liman. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. Happy that we're
That's
back
good.
on our chats. Finally.
Yeah, well, we're all busy, eh? We all have
Absolutely.
yeah, we're busy as the queen bees we are, the queen bee
Ah,
goddesses we
there you
are.
go.
Yeah,
The
we're
queen.
all busy building an empire and yeah, stepping into our power. So it's great to have you. So we just kind of finished our introductions and stuff. So if you want, you can introduce yourself and then we'll
Okay. Well, I am Lena. I'm a spiritual life coach and a holistic business coach. And I empower spiritual entrepreneurs to reach professional growth, connecting with their power within, creating their own unique authentic brand standard and their cloud with their unique gifts, and getting crystal clear with their marketing message so that they can attract their special souls who are ready to work with them on that soul level. So,
that's amazing.
and I also channel with the angels. I've been channeling with the angels from a very, very young age. And that got me leaded into where I am today. And I do past life regression, angelic light language, healing, and removing negative energy blocks from our energy field. We also do Akashic records. So yeah, a lot going on in my world.
Busy, busy, busy. Doing all
Mhm.
sorts of amazing things. So, so yeah, so no, we were just talking about like as Lena mentioned, Fairyland. We put that even as the title of the call because she was explaining to us about this fairyland that she goes to with her granddaughter. So they went to collect moon water there, and it just sounds really interesting. I love
Yeah,
moon water. Yeah, we all love the moon.
native place.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was saying that it's just amazing to be able to say that, and people, no one goes, "What did she say?"
Yeah.
She went to Fairyland and collected moon water. I want to go.
Yeah, I want to go too. Let's collect some moon water and very.
Yeah. We can hop
Oh
on
yeah,
our unicorns and go and fly to Fairyland and pick up
Yeah.
my
Lena.
daughter's name is Perry, and in Latin it means fairy. So I'm connected with fairy
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm.
Wow.
No, well, yeah, in this day, like, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, people would have said like, oh, you ladies, you need, I'm gonna get you a toaster and you need to just go to the
Yeah.
mental institution in a straitjacket. Yeah.
Absolutely,
Not
yeah.
not anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if someone dressed up with had fairy wings on. I would just it is just we live in such a special, a beautiful time right now.
Yes.
You know, for those who don't really realize it, you know, they're missing out. I feel like they're missing out, but I think everything has a balance. So, you know, but for those who are in tuned on this particular frequency, we're having fun. We're
Yeah.
really having fun.
While the world is
It's
falling
freedom.
apart, we're
Yeah,
enjoying and having
we're
fun
talking
and just
about Fairyland
Actually,
and Moonwater.
fairies.
Absolutely.
and it's not falling apart, actually, Wendy. It's coming together.
It's coming
It's
together,
coming, yeah,
yes.
yeah. Well, it has to go through those cycles of dismantle and reconstruction. So it's doing what it's supposed to do. And we're
Yeah.
doing what we're supposed to do. So
That's where
I
the notion of the glass half full or the glass half empty. A lot
Yeah.
of people are seeing the glass as half empty, so like, you know, the chaos and everything like that is falling apart. But like when you're in tune and you raised your vibrations and you've healed yourself and you know you're just living your life in the present moment, then you can see that, you know, the glass is half full. Like you mentioned, Liman, you know, it's not falling apart, it's coming together. And that's what it is. Like a new world is being birthed as we speak right now. But
Yeah. It's the way you look at it, really. When you
yeah,
you
it all
know, it's
has to
like
do
on
with
a
the perspective.
scale of look at, you know, a different perspective from a different window. Where yes, there is chaos. But I like to put it as the dark age of the millennium has risen, and now it's ready to go into the light.
Yes.
So, you know, it's like, and more people are awakening, more and more people are questioning, more and more people are saying, hey, you know, these light workers, these spiritual entrepreneurs, these coaches, these therapists, you know, they've got a point, you know.
Yeah.
They're okay, they do sound woo-woo, but when we step into it, there's evidence. And a lot more people are just seeing that now. Where, you know, before, if I were to go and say to someone, hey, I work with energy, they'll be like, energy? Yeah, right.
What's
you know.
energy? Yeah.
or yeah, what yeah.
Or I'd say
What's
that I
that?
believe in fairies or unicorns and elements, all these different elements. I'd be like, yeah, I think, you know, how old are you? Right? Or, you know, say something with a comment. But
What
every
mental
day
institution did you escape from?
yeah, that's better than what I said. So yeah, it is fascinating the way it's growing. Awakenings, people are questioning their lives, questioning even religious beliefs, and you know,
Yeah.
I read something about, and I would, you know, about that a lot of secrets are being or will be revealed in the next
Yes.
3 years, and it was like, wow, and they've been hiding a lot of things. And I was like, okay, so, you know, all those questions, all those things, because they can't hold it in any longer because people are going to actually, you know, go out there and start doing protestos and things. And that's when the light workers come in hand.
Yeah.
Right?
We're here to balance it out, like to, you know, because as people awaken, like if they've never been awakened and if they're just like, you know, they can feel like they're going crazy or they can feel like, you know, so as light workers, that's our mission here in this timeline is to help, you know, calm it down a little bit and to help them, you know, to guide them in their awakening. Because there's one thing that I've noticed is that a lot of people, like as they are awakening, like they're also live not like they're not living in fear, but like it's it's scary. It's kind of when you're healing and where you're going through a spiritual awakening, it's not all bells and whistles and all pop. You know what I mean? So a lot of people are like, "What the
Exactly.
frick? Like what
There's
is
no clarity.
happening?"
There's no clarity at the beginning.
Yeah.
And you have so much information out now that a lot of people are stepping into this. They're being taught certain things. And I think at some point we probably all had to learn from someone, right? But then the goal is to eventually take what you've learned, use as tools, and then you get to a point where everything you do understand, where everything comes from within. You understand that more so than it just being a cliche. But that takes work. That doesn't take you going through a certification class, writing notes, and reading back what someone has taught you. You have to experience that stuff.
Have to do the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what doing the work actually is really having those things happen with you, to you, for you, by you, and all that, and then you come out on the other end being able to hold space for someone that you would recognize, that you resonate with. You'll be able to just hold space for them. So if they cross your path and they laugh at something that you say or do, but then they come back and they go, you know what? That makes sense. A seed was planted, right? And they cycle back around. I'm finding that to be happening quite often with people who years when I was growing up would never think this way. But now I see shifts in their conversations and how they're talking and what they're doing. I'm like, oh, so there has been a slight awakening, and not everybody's going to be full speed or reach, you can't really make that comparison. It would be unfair to say people have to be at certain levels or phases or whatever, but you can recognize where a person is if you've
on their journey. Yeah.
If you, and so that's what I'm seeing happening. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember when I first came, that was my first aha moment, 20 years ago. And it's the being able to hold space. I think what we're able to do and really learn and be able to discern what that even means. Because sometimes you don't say anything. You're just in a space and you're like, what am I doing here? And if you don't have to say anything, you're just supposed to be. That's it.
Yeah, just like hold the space with your energy. Like your energy says it all, or your energy calms, or your energy.
Just be. Yeah. So that means when you walk into a grocery store to get something at a certain time, or you were late, or a traffic light stopped you, or something, you were supposed to be in that store at that particular time to hold space for someone who was going through something. Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing.
That was an aha moment for me, understanding that, right? Yeah.
Well, I get that a lot. Like when I go to the grocery store, I'll get strangers. I've never seen these people before in my life, and they're like either in front of me or behind me, and then like they'll just start to talk to me, and they'll tell me their life story and their problems and stuff like that, but they don't even know me.
Yeah.
So, but for the longest time, I found that
energy.
I saw it like as a negative thing because like, I'm an empath, so I absorb people's energy and I feel people's energy and like, there's sadness or whatever. So sometimes it got stressful, but now I understand like that and I can, but like, I get that a lot. Like people will just tell me, I don't know why I'm telling you this. Like, I just feel like I can trust you and I can open up to you. And like, I just listen. That's all I do. I listen. So
I get the children. They look, they're like that, like they see something no one else sees.
Yeah. It's
and they do
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, children are children are open.
Even here in Egypt, I thought it was, in the States, or I could be in a restaurant. As a matter of fact, I was at a restaurant with my daughter one time, And this little girl said, she was like, I see you. I was like, what?
Oh,
I see you. Oh,
You. Like, okay. I see.
oh, that's sweet.
But
Oh,
later, my daughter says she sees what others don't see. She sees you. She sees you. So with the children here, it's the same thing. I could be walking and they could be holding a parent's hand and they're pulling them along. You know, we're in a hurry, so we're just pulling our kids, and they're still looking back at me.
I get that too.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
just in passing, it's just they're like,
They're like mesmerized.
yeah,
mm,
Yeah. But speaking of that, one time we went to a shop near oh, what's it called? The square. You would know where it something square. It's in Heliopolis. Anyway,
oh, okay. I haven't been to.
Roxy Square. Yeah,
Okay.
Roxy Square. And we were trying to cross a busy street, and then this man came with his daughter, and he guided us, like, you know, between the cars and stuff like that. Because Egypt is like, wow, it's like playing Frogger, you know, the game
Yeah.
Frog. You have to
Yeah.
jump from one place so that you don't get hit. It's like that, and then his daughter, like, she could just like she was just like in awe. Like when I told her I couldn't speak Arabic or anything like that, but I said, Anna Wendy, Anna from Canada, and she was Canada, and she was just like in awe. She just kept looking at me. So yeah, so children, yeah, they can sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
amazing.
amazing.
And now we're in a time where, as parents, we can teach our kids to be open and to, you know, like, for example, if they have an imaginary friend, for example, well, they have an imaginary friend, very much real, but like normally parents will say, oh, no, this is just your imagination, and this is not true, not real. So like by being away as parents or grandparents, like you, Lena, you're teaching your granddaughter, you know, about spirituality and stuff, and she's gonna be open. So that's amazing. So
it is.
that's what we need to do. We need to, and that's what I do with my daughters too. I teach them, you know, about spirituality, about being yourself, living in the moment, if playing with unicorns,
Yeah.
you know, and that's a great way to get our inner child out too.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. And the
Yeah.
imaginary friend, you know, the imagination is the thing. So it's like to have a friend in that frequency that you see and no one else sees, it could be explained a little better, you know, because as children, we probably were able to see frequencies that we no longer are seeing or experiencing as often as we did, you know, as children. And so, yeah, the conversation could be definitely could be different. My grandson, even with how they express themselves. So one of my grandsons was, you know, it was sort of off. He had an off day. His mom sent him to school, and she got a call, and you know, and he was saying before he left for school, he just, you know, didn't want to go, I guess, you know. And so from then on, she started to pay closer attention to that. But that led to them writing a book together so that he can see himself and be able to express himself and be verbal and clear. Like, this is not me just not feeling like I want to get out of bed. No, my energy is off right now, Mom. I don't know if I should be going to school.
Need to
Those
balance.
kind of conversations. The younger they start, the more clarity the children will have. So when they say something is off, even the regular daily routine should be sort of changed for them. You know, not sitting down watching TV, maybe even the foods they eat. So there should be a session for, you know, I think is a good word, a clarity session if the mom has time or the dad has time to do so, until the child is able to do that on his or her own. So they go in, they do meditation, they know how to clean and clear themselves so that they can, you know, later sit back and have a conversation and find out, well, what was that? Why did my why did his energy level or his frequency, why did he drop? What happened? Because it's in the morning, early morning. Yeah. And so what happens when we wake up early in the morning is memories flood back into us, because we wake up, we're like humans. So, okay, everything is based on what we remember. So apparently a memory started his day off on a low frequency, and he was vibrating slowly. Him now knowing that, his conversation can change. You know, if I feel this way, this is what I need to do before I do the next thing. You know, leave my room, even go play with my brother, go say good morning. You know, some cultures teach their children this, but most don't.
No,
So
like the typical society, we don't
children,
teach our children that at all. No.
Yeah, but you look at the societies who do, and they're more closed off. And so with them being closed off, they're looked at as wrong. So, you know, that was puzzling to me. So why would one country or one type of people be looked at as wrong, and another one be looked at as quote unquote right, when both need to switch certain qualities, you know, to help, you know, to help each other. Wow, you know, it's like
well, technically, yeah,
it's so much.
Yeah, it is like, and children, they process, they have the same emotions as us adults, and most of the time they can't process them. So, and by us telling them, oh, don't cry, oh, don't be angry, it's bad to be angry, it's bad to do this, it's bad to that, then they grow up thinking that they're bad.
Yeah.
Everything.
And it creates limiting beliefs in them, and it creates trauma in them, and then they carry that into adulthood, and then they, you know, they wonder why they can't handle anything. So as parents, yes, we have to teach them, you know, how to self-regulate.
We're having to do a lot of undoing.
Yeah.
I know I am. I'm having to do a lot of undoing, or I don't want to say necessarily corrective, but you know, I think I'm a firm believer that we came here with the set intention that we had a plan for. And so in coming here, to say that, well, I used to say, until, you know, I was shown a better way of looking at this, is that why did this happen to me as a child? I didn't choose this. I didn't. And it's like, yeah, you sort of did. You did. And each choice you made, each thought you had was yours. Whether it was influenced by someone or not, it was still yours. The object of this game, if you want to look at it as a game, the object of this game is to learn that as soon as possible so that you can create intentionally thereafter.
Hi, Bitten. Yeah, and we have Bitten that just joined us.
Oh,
hi. I might not be possible to participate vocally, but I'll be watching. I'm at work, like I said, and suddenly I have to run off if he needs any help, but I'll
feel free to if you poof, we'll know where you went.
Exactly.
So no, we were just talking about well, we introduced ourselves, and then we were talking about Lena talked about bringing her granddaughter to a place called Fairyland where she lives and collecting moon water, and then we've just been talking about like spiritual stuff, and when you first popped in, then we were talking about like how as kids, like when we have kids or parents, how they should, you know, teach their children to be open and not suppress their emotions and things like that. So that's pretty much a tidbit of what we've been talking about, just so that you're updated.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sounds a lot like my childhood, and not the way I'm raising my son or our son.
A lot of us we've been raised in where you're not supposed to, you know, express your emotions. You're not supposed to cry. You're not supposed to, You know, if you fall down, well, it's we've been raised thinking we're bad. Basically, that we're bad.
Yeah.
I like to do a meditation with my daughter every day for 10 minutes. We tap into our inner selves and we release all the negative energy blocks that we have received today. And I get her to ask herself what hurt her today, what was joyful. And we do a gratitude a list of our day, and we also release negative energy blocks that we have received within the day. And we do this in 10 minutes. I'd like to do it longer with her. It was like before, it was like 5, we put it up to 10 now. But it makes a great difference. Because she is a very emotional child. She is an empath as well. She's also a light worker too. So I understand her on that soul level, where she actually goes into not being understood by the society and people around her because she's unique, you know, where she is. And she does tend to feel that she is, you know, lost out sometimes. And I try to get her because growing up as a child, like you said, Wendy, it was different back then. And now I know what she's going through, and being an awakening mom, being a spiritual mom, I can help her to release those things rather than turning into herself. And I say, it's okay to cry. You need to cry it out. So go to your room, cry. When you feel better, you can come back and we can talk about it.
That's a great way of yeah.
And you know, it does make a big difference in her. And you know, she is even, you know, she's started to channel, as I can. She's not telling me right. She doesn't know how to express it, but she's even starting to channel. I hear her sometimes, you know, talking, and I'm like, who are you talking to? And she says, she looks at me and says, I can't tell you. Like, okay, bye. Right. But I said to her, when you're ready, you can tell me because I understand. And she goes, okay. So, you know, children nowadays are much more in that awakening process where they need that support, they need that help, they need that energy, because the world is changing around them all the time, especially as technology is expanding as well. And they're constantly on technology, and it's something that we cannot stop. Even though we say, oh, you know, you're having too much time with technology and you're on your phone all the time, or you're on your computer all the time, or your laptop. It's giving them that space to actually turn into their inner selves and release all those negative energies can help them expand much more in their spirituality. They are all open anyway. And it can also, like Savvy said, it can also take those negative doubts that they have within themselves. So
yeah, it's important for them to learn tools early on, and you know, to have parents, like, because we're not here to dictate to them, like, if they're good or they're not good. I mean, even me, I don't like being dictated to. So I can imagine, like, a child, you know, we tend to, as parents, we tend to think that we own our children, but we don't. We're just here. Our job here is to guide them. We're guides. We're here to guide them on the right path, or on you know, I say right path. We're here to guide them. That's but we don't own them, and we can't really control them. But as parents, we tend to have that, like, that notion. I'm more like, I'm very, like, easygoing and things like that. But like my husband, for example, he's strict. He's more strict, and he's more like in the old 3D way of doing things. So it's kind of like, we butt heads
Yeah.
about it sometimes.
We
Often.
have the same problem with mine. I want to call him the control freak. It's a total control freak. You try to control everything. I mean, even like small things like a glass dropped off the table and broke, and he goes in a flip. Why did you put the glass on the side? And he, it flipped over and he's shutting. I'm like, calm down. It's only a glass. Right? It doesn't matter. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's okay. You don't have to make a big scene out of it. And Perry's always saying to me, Mom, why are you so calm and you never get angry about things like this? So, why should I? Right?
Yeah.
There's no worry about that glass, right?
I get the same from my daughters. Like they always, and sometimes like it creates friction because, I tend to kind of like have their backs, right? when he's too
He's
too
always
strict
saying,
on them.
She's like, just because of you, because you keep saying, it's okay to do that. I'm like, what's the big deal? Right?
Well, there's still a thin line between that, because you don't want to develop a person or develop the mindset or thinking patterns of it's okay per se. You do have to teach
To own up to their mistakes.
to prevent and things like that. Yeah. So when my children, would break a glass, and I didn't flip out, but I would say, hey, I'm more concerned about, are you okay? And let's get this glass up than I am about but next time, be aware where you put the glass so that this won't happen again.
Yeah.
So
be mindful.
You have to finish that, because if you don't express the mindfulness, then you'll have an adult that's just like, whatever, everything's okay. I'm not responsible. I can do whatever I want. And it creates a whole nother issue where we now see these people running around with that attitude, because now we got social media. So you see there's even platforms for them to carry out their beliefs that they've created or, was helped create it within them. So there's still rules that that would help them. But the other part of that, like you're saying, is to encourage them to say, it's okay, but you got to finish the sentence.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
Most men just go in hard on the butt. No, don't do this. Da 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 da.
Punished.
And it might be a little too extreme. So now we even
have to have a happy medium somewhere, like a middle.
They just go in on the way most of us probably were brought up as children. Like my mother would flip. She was like, no, don't do this, don't do that. And you would be the last person that she would be thinking about. Maybe you got cut, she's more concerned about the glass breaking than
you hurting yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it wasn't intentional. It's not like she wasn't a bad person. She was a nurse, so she knew what could happen. But I think because we live in a world that is cyclical, these are cycles. So usually if the parent or the most dominant parent in the home is one way, then you're going to create, or that child is going to be hopefully somewhat of the opposite. But then there's also the exception to the rule, where for men especially, if they are abusers, then their son will be an abuser. And then his son may be an abuser. So it may take 3 cycles for the son to come out and go, I'm not doing that.
It's a cycle, a generational, like generational beliefs and generational.
There's so much to this. So that's when Lena said Fairyland and Moonwater, I was like, wow. See, that's how you bring in the balance in your space. So when Dad's flipping off, and you mentioned,
let's go to Fairyland.
I'm going to Fairyland and get the Moonwater.
I'm gonna go on my unicorn and I'm gonna go get some Moonwater at Fairyland. Yeah, I'm gonna use that actually. I think next time something happens or whatever, I'm gonna say okay, let's go to Fairyland, girls. Let's go.
He was a child once. He just he's so into this thing that a lot of times are created within people. male or female, that they often forget. They were a child once, and so they have to be reminded of that sometimes. So we're in a place where, you could just say something and he'd probably go, what? And then laugh. Because it's like, okay, I was way up here. I didn't have to snap.
Yeah.
Didn't have to snap so hard.
Did you have a question, Bitten?
No, I just had a comment because I actually used to be that mom who would yell
Mhm.
immediately.
Yeah.
And
I've been there.
yeah, and I have changed my ways of thinking and behaving, and I still see our son, he's now 12. I think it was around 7 or 8 that I kind of changed my behavior.
Mm.
But I still see him when he does something, breaks a glass or something, that immediately his eyes dart to me like,
He's looking
oh,
for
is
you.
he
Yeah.
going to explode? And instead I'm just like that, at like, oh, be careful. I'm just afraid that you might cut yourself. Or another example, in my car, I have a bin, and he ate a whole cucumber the other day. And then there's like this little tip, the end of it still in the plastic. So when I emptied this bin, of course it rotten and all ran out because it was all watery. So I was like, oh, honey, I just want to let you know that it does rot and it turns into watery. Oh, sorry, mom, I didn't know. So how would you? But now I tell you, so that now
Now you
you are
know.
aware of it. So yeah, I definitely feel a change. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just what I want. I used to be like that, but I'm really working on changing, because I don't want him to grow up and always look at me with fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he going to yell and explode?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been
Yeah.
there a lot, and I'm much calmer now than I used to be. But like if I compare like my two older daughters when I was going through postpartum depression, I was like a monster. They probably remember me as a monster,
Mm.
basically. But yeah, I've learned to tone it down, and I rarely get angry anymore. But like with Jamila, like my two, like I still had it because I mean I was still kind of like a single mom. My husband was still in Egypt, and I was raising her alone over there. So I was tired, and a short fuse. And then when I had Yasmin, my youngest, like I knew better. So I'm like, yeah, I can self-regulate myself. And like, even if when I want to blow, I've learned how to, step back and just not, and be aware. And becoming aware is important, because if you're not aware, you're like, you don't even realize that you're doing it, right?
Oh,
Actually,
absolutely.
it all changed for me when I started taking this food supplement, vitamin supplement. And I was like, it doesn't do anything for me. And then I heard someone say that he used to take it and then stop, and his wife was like, so what happened? You are all explosive again. And he's like, I don't know. And then it got to him that he stopped taking these supplements. And I went to my husband, I went to my son and said, do you feel a change? Like, am I nicer? And they're like, yeah, now that you mention it. So I promised them never to stop taking it again.
Well,
But sure, it
our
really,
bodies is
it's,
a big thing. Like,
yeah, and
you
it's
know,
really true, because then sometimes I run out or just forget them for some time, and I feel it. And the first, uh, yeah, the first cat catalysator, is that the right word? Well, the first sign is that I start yelling at my boy. So if that's happening, I'm like, I think I forgot them for about a week, and then I stuff them in again. Um,
That's interesting.
But
Yeah.
sometimes it can be a deficiency in certain, I mean,
Deficiency in
our
something,
body
yeah.
needs minerals, they need vitamins, certain and like if we're not eating well, and then all of a sudden we do start taking, these supplements, like we can see a difference. Like me, for example, I'm going through menopause right now, so my joints are always achy, my back's always achy, I'm having problems with my legs. But I have supplements now, like for menopause, like to give me all these missing nutrients. And when I don't have them, oh my God, like my energy level is down. I feel like I'm falling down basically. So I'm a firm believer that, yeah, if you're supplementing or you're changing your diet or eating better, it can make a big difference in our moods. Because it's all connected to our gut, right? Everything's connected. The body, everything. So
Call it our second gut, our second
Yes.
brain.
Yeah.
yeah, the gut is our
exactly.
second brain.
Yeah.
Mhm. And most of us, I mean, most of society, like you don't see home cooked meals anymore as much, like they were when my grandmother was, used to raise her kids. Because I mean, they made sure that we go to work, and it's like so stressful. So as a society, we've come to depend on just like TV dinners, for example, or processed foods, or something really, really quick, because we don't have time to cook when we get home. So a lot of people are, it's affecting people, in that sense. And I mean, when you're not feeling good in your body, well, it affects your mood too. So it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially as you get older, right? I feel all kind of ways sometimes in one day.
Yeah,
So
me too.
I'm asking myself, what is this? Where is this coming from? And not to even mention the chin hairs and stuff.
Oh my God, yeah, the chin hair.
Oh yeah, don't tell me about those.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
Mine are white. Right there.
Yeah,
I have
mine
some
are
right
too,
there,
and
They
white.
come out like picking on them.
And then you have hair
you
growing
shouldn't
in
shave them. They
places.
say that you should pull them, pluck them or something, but I don't have good tweezers, so it's easier for me just to take the shaver and go yoop like that. Well, one day, a few days, I was working very in tune, zoned in. 3 days goes by and I haven't touched my chin. So Ahmed says, "Hey, I'm here." So I run downstairs, and when I I could see the look on his face when he noticed. Wait a minute, I'll be right back. Forgot something. I go. So I run back up the elevator and I shaved this off. But he never said anything, but I could see his eyes. I could see like this. What is, because he's never seen it before.
Well, speaking of hair, when I first
that's
came to
funny.
Egypt the first time, I mean, in Canada, I mean, frig, a woman has hair on her arms. It's normal, perfectly normal. But here, oh no, women cannot have hair on their arms. So on my first night here, my husband looked at my arms. Oh no, 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 Wendy, that has to go. So he went to get me some the bleach
The
cream
wax.
or whatever there and
Oh
he
my
won
God.
my arms. I'm like, what is this? Like, why? Like, what do you mean? Like, yes, I have hair on my arms. What's wrong with that? Like, this is who I am. We don't do this in Canada.
No.
We've been told, like, don't shave your arms because you're gonna, it's gonna grow into a big.
Yeah.
So yeah, but now he's used to it. So I don't do my arms or whatever. I'm not gonna
Oh,
put
that's
some
good.
cream
Because
or whatever. It's like,
chemicals,
you don't like it, well,
chemicals
look
that
the
you're
other
putting
way.
on there is probably worse than the hair growing. I'd rather
Exactly. It's chemicals. It burns the hair. It's like Nair. That's what it is.
Nair,
Called one.
yeah. Oh my
Probably
God.
seen it, Ramona. Yeah.
Probably. I just go by henna. I get henna for my grays. And that's all I use on my hair. Black,
Yeah.
just henna. Indigo.
Henna's amazing. My mother-in-law,
Okay.
she does her hair with henna. She doesn't put color or anything like that. Black henna.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's all I use. And just right here in the front, the rest of it is doing its own thing. It's got gray and all kind of whatever's going on back there. But you know,
The
this
joys
is
of
one
getting
those things
old.
where, well, yeah, you get to a point where it's not that you don't care, you just don't care what others think about you
Yeah.
caring. That's all. Like I care
Exactly.
about my appearance, but I don't care what you think about my appearance.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We have
Yeah.
to
I mean,
look
I
after
I color
ourselves.
my hair blonde, but it's not to cover the grays. It's just because I like it like that.
That it's so thick, it's beautiful.
You have
Yeah.
beautiful
I
hair.
have lots and lots of hair. Actually, I
Awesome.
I don't know if I can show it, but I actually do an undercut because I
Wow.
have
So
so
that
much.
means you can have more hair.
Oh, wow.
No, because I have so much hair.
What?
Yeah, it
Wow.
looks
So
very
So I
thick.
actually
you can
cut
get
it
rid
in
of
the
half
neck.
of it.
Yeah, I
And
would like some
know
more.
it.
I
Wow.
cut it in the neck because it's so hot. Or I'm also in
Yeah.
menopause, but and also the hair, it's so thin, and so it always gets knotted up when I
Knotted, yeah.
sleep and stuff.
Oh,
So it's like,
wow.
oh, cut it off.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Well,
you've
my
got
daughter does
you
that too.
cut
Her hair
half
is
of
really,
this and still have all of that hair. That's
wow.
Oh, I
just
actually turned
amazing.
50 on August 1st.
Whoa, welcome to the 50s.
Yeah.
We'll have
And
to
I'm
make a party.
so looking forward. Oh, I
Oh,
am having a big party.
We will have to make a party
good.
on Zoom for you, a birthday party,
Oh,
a virtual
absolutely.
birthday party.
I came to Egypt twice that year. When I turned 50, I traveled and I came here twice. Even then, I didn't realize I'd be living here later, but I'm 56 now and I'm here. It's like I made
Well,
I
you
must
definitely
be
don't show
20.
it. Much more younger.
No, you got to do your thing. Do it. Celebrate
Yeah.
all year. That's awesome.
Exactly.
I'll
Yeah,
be
it's
60.
And now I got hot.
62,
I have to
Lena?
undress a bit.
I'll be 60 this year.
60 this year.
Who's going to be 60? Who said
Lena.
that? What?
Now
No.
you can see it.
You don't show it either.
You don't look your age at all.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
Look, half the hair is gone and you can't
Wow.
even.
Yeah. I had that done to my daughter also. She has very thick hair and it's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
coarse, very, very coarse and dry. So yeah, she had this done in the back also. Yeah, because it gets
Yeah.
knotted and it's like a,
Mm.
and the Egyptian dry air, it makes her hair even more dry and coarse.
And
It's
you're by
like,
the water. Seems like it would be pretty good there. You would have some humidity, right? That
yeah,
doesn't
no,
make-
her hair is just like that. I put oil. I put some
okay.
oil in her hair and try to make it a little less.
You should use
Yeah.
aloe vera.
Yeah. Oh, I have 3 aloe vera plants actually.
I do an aloe vera mask for my hair every week, where I just take the aloe vera, cut it in half, and then rub it on my hair, and then I put it up in a
Turban. Hair
yeah,
turban.
and I just keep it up, and then it just dries, and I just let it out, and then I wash it. It takes like a good, an hour or 2 hours or so, and it makes
Oh,
that.
I should try that.
And even the split ends of your hair, it disappear. So your hair grows much more healthier.
Oh, I never realized that. I know aloe vera is good for the
And
skin
it
and
also
good for.
grows.
Yeah, people.
It's good for hair. But the actual, not something from outside, but the actual leaf, if you have it, and I highly recommend you do it. It's amazing.
Yeah, I do have the plants. Like there's so many aloe vera
we
plants
have
here.
so
I have
many
3.
too. We use them a lot.
Okay, so you take what you cut one stem or one leaf and then you cut it
one
in half.
stem, like let's say it's about that long. So you cut that, and then you cut that in small pieces. Then you just take the first layer off. You just cut it in the middle, and then you just rub it all over your hair.
I'm gonna
Make it
try
really
that.
soggy, it will be like slime. So it is quite a messy process.
It's slimy, yes.
Yeah, but it is worth it.
You can also buy it, Wendy, at the markets. There are people that do that for you, and they put them in jars right there at some of the markets.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you just have to
right.
ask around and find which ones where you are, but they'll have the plants already out there, and they'll ask you what size jar, and then they'll
The
cut that out
juice.
for you and put it in a jar for you. Yeah, I've bought some before,
Okay.
but my hair has been growing so fast, I don't need any more hair stuff. I'm I don't want to say it's too much because I appreciate my hair, but I didn't think it would grow so much the way it's been growing here. This is wild.
I was losing my hair for the longest time when we first got here. Well, that's when my menopause started and everything. So but now I'm taking menopause supplements. So they give me, I think there's biotin in it. There's, anyway, vitamins and minerals that, you know, you need during menopause. And it seems to be thickening my hair. And I have really, like, my nails are actually healthy now.
I have actually noticed that, Wendy, that your hair has gotten a bit thicker.
Oh, did you?
I've
Okay.
noticed that from earlier pictures or
Yeah, because before I used to lose it here.
Yeah,
I was almost
exactly.
bald.
Yeah, I saw that, but I've also seen that it's gotten healthier and thicker now.
Okay. Well, I'm glad somebody noticed. Because I'm
And
like,
what
it's back to
I normally do that I after showering, I only use shampoo when showering, and then when I get out, I also just put it up in that hair turban, and after it's been there for a while, I put in argan oil, and then I put in my conditioner. It's not a simple, it's not a leave-in conditioner, but I don't care. I just do it anyway. And my hairdresser, she's like, oh, I don't know what you're doing, but it's working. So argan oil and conditioner can do it as well.
yeah, argan oil. There's so many tricks that we can use
And
to.
I think the argan oil is enriched with peppermint and rosemary oils and stuff like that. Yeah.
I was using, I'm out now. I'm gonna have to get some more from the States, but I was getting this from an Indian store.
Vatica. Yeah, we have have it
Oh,
here.
this I can get this here?
I think so.
Oh
Vatica.
my gosh, okay.
I'm pretty
I'm
sure
gonna take this around with me because
I had bought an oil at Carrefour, and I think that's what it's called, Vatica.
oh, okay. Well, yeah, I would like to have that for my scalp when it gets a little dry.
Yeah, check with Carrefour. I think it's Vatica that it was called, but I didn't like it because the smell, like I think it was a neem oil and maybe amla.
Cumin. Yeah, this has cumin and that, what do you say, neem, that oil in it. But what I did is I also put a few drops of my essential oil in it too.
That makes a difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I add ginger in mine.
Ginger.
I've heard ginger is good too.
Yeah, that's a stimulant. So yeah, it would make sense.
That's
right?
true. It would make
that.
the hair grow back or like thick again.
I add it right to my shampoo.
Oh.
So is it powdered ginger that you use, or is it like the actual like you grind ginger?
No, it's an oil.
My shampoo also contains a lot of essential oils in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, essential oils are amazing.
Oh,
yes,
exactly.
They're so amazing.
Yeah.
Ginger oil.
I love my essential oils. Yeah.
But ginger oil, I never considered ginger.
That's how I do all this hair.
Wow.
Yeah, and you have beautiful hair too, Lena.
Yeah.
I shaved my
We all
hair.
do, actually.
I shaved my whole head in 2013.
Wow.
And I haven't cut, well, I had a few cuts there, just the ends, but yeah. And I was completely shaved.
As a statement or illness or why?
Event.
What?
I shaved them for an event.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For an event. Yeah, probably a cancer event. Yeah.
Yeah, present. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, they say that when you shave your hair, it's good for it to grow thicker. And many people here that I know in Cyprus, they actually shave girls' hair when they're about 2, and
Yeah.
they allow it to, and then they say that it grows thicker. I've never tried it with my daughter, but I know a lot of people that have actually done that, you know,
Yeah.
and their hair has got thicker.
Yeah.
I've known a few Puerto Ricans that do that. When I lived in Chicago, I noticed a lot of little girls around 1 or 2, their hair would be shaved. I was like, what's going on? So my brother was dating someone at the time, and that's what she did. I was like, wow. So why would you do that? And it was like, well, you know, it helps the hair to grow thicker, and then it allows, like, at that age, the baby hair is gone, and then we get to help train the hair. I was like, well, I never thought of anybody doing that, but
Yeah.
It makes sense though, because like, I mean, you know, you get rid of the hair and then it helps the
starts off
scalp
fresh,
breathe again.
and then you get to train the hair. So okay,
Mm.
well, a lot of them have really pretty hair. So
My daughter has thick hair anyway, so no matter if I don't do it, she has lots of hair.
The native culture, especially around here, they don't cut their hair, even the boys.
right.
A lot of boys have long hair.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well,
It's their-
the indigenous, yeah, it's a sign of if you
It's their strength.
if you have long hair, you're more connected to spirit and to the earth and to I guess it's connected.
I grew up with those kind of teachings, and so my brother does not cut his hair. It's always been long, 2 or 3 braids, and
I find it I find a man with long hair beautiful. I find it's beautiful. A man that has long hair.
You got me thinking. I've always wondered why Bob Marley always had long hair, and you saying that, I'm like getting an aha moment now. Like, aha, yeah, because he was really spiritual.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why he always had those long hair, and you know, and braided it. He had amazing braids in his hair, and it was long. And I always thought to myself, why does he always have long hair? And he, you know, never changed his hair design or anything. It was just the same.
Always the same, yeah.
Let it grow.
So now I know why, because he was very spiritual and connected, you know, to the earth.
Well, during the I know this is a kind of like it might trigger some people, but the like when the colonials took over and took the indigenous people's lands, and also the children that they put in the residential schools, they forced them to cut their hair, and that's because they want to sever that tie to
your hair is very
to the spirit world.
Yeah. A lot of people knew this very, 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 from the very beginning, they knew this. Even if they didn't believe it, they followed those ancient rules and laws the way they still do now.
Yeah.
You shave your hair when you go to the military. Now I think they don't have to, they can cut it short, but that's the first thing they do is shave your hair.
Shave your head. They don't want you connected.
Yes.
Get you ready for war.
Shave it off. Yeah. Shave it off, cut your nails low, you know.
Well, since we're on that subject, I'm going to talk about my youth religion, which was Catholic.
Yeah, me too. Mine was that.
And
what is that?
Baptized, what's the first thing they do? They shut our third eye.
Yeah. Is that what baptize is? To shut the third eye? I never knew that.
If you think about it, they put
how horrible.
Yeah. If you think about it, that's what they do. They put a cross, but they're shutting our third eye.
They're probably saying in their head some kind of ritual to shut it. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and I believe that with all my heart.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Oh,
I do.
I'm definitely confirming that, getting goosebumps here.
Yeah,
it's sad that how religion is just, you know, blocking out so many things, you know, allowing us to connect with the divine. And
so that would, so
Love.
I missed the first word, so I didn't hear what you said at the beginning. What religion?
Catholic.
Catholic.
Oh, Catholics. Yeah, because I'm thinking that's what they do when they yes,
Yes.
baptizing. That's
That's a
you're right. That's what baptisms are. Because I was like, what is that? Yeah, but
Oh,
okay.
also as Protestant, that's also what they do, like at the baptism. Like
Oh,
first
really?
for your, yeah, sure,
Yeah.
for
Well,
your forehead and your chest.
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
They're
hitting,
they're
focusing
closing
on the
off our
pineal and the heart. Um,
yeah.
I wonder if
But
it's
I never thought of it
I
like that. I
think
never thought of
in,
it like that.
Makes sense.
yeah, it
Christianity
was
because they
in
do
ancient
this as well,
times.
don't they?
In ancient times, a process like that would be for the opposite. So they still do the same physical motion, but they change the intention behind
Yeah.
it. And then they
Yeah.
So cool.
teach you fear so that you don't question what was happening.
Yeah.
So can you imagine if you did that, that cross is still a freak, it's a representation of a frequency. So
Yeah.
if you know that, you would be crossing all the time. But if it was done to you without your consent as a child, and then you were taught to fear questioning that, then as an adult, when you awaken, the first thing you're going to start to focus on is this area, which you probably did. Yeah, that's me. I grew up in Catholicism. And the first thing I learned was the first book I read that really started my official, like with me actually looking into things differently or openly or just questioning, was the book As a Man Thinketh. I read it, it went right over my head, but it planted seeds that cycled back around, which, I just constantly started learning more about how the brain works, what's inside it, and then all these other things started to, come to play to answer these questions. But that is you're right, that's one of the things that most, I won't say most, but a lot of ceremonial type of religious structures do, is that cross.
Yeah.
It's been taken from other teachings and twisted around and distorted and used against.
Yeah. Like the
But
course that
we're
I'm
still
taking.
here, though. We're still here. We
Yes.
woke up anyway.
Yeah. We still woke up.
It didn't work.
It didn't
Yeah,
work. Yeah.
it didn't work on us. Me, I've always questioned it. I've always questioned everything that I was taught in religion,
Yeah.
and I'm not talking bad about the religion or anything like
Oh,
that.
no,
Just from my
it's perfect.
experience, but I never felt comfortable sitting in a church. I didn't feel God inside a church. I'm sorry, but whenever I went outside in nature, I felt God.
You felt better,
Yeah.
right? You felt it. Yeah.
I never felt comfortable around priests. I never felt comfortable going into the confessional to tell my sins to a man. And I think not my hatred for priests, but my disdain, or like, I don't know, as a child, I felt something was not right. And now I understand why, is because, I was awake. I've always been awake all my life. But like, our priest used to come to my grandmother's house, and he used to sit me on his lap and try to tickle me. And I didn't buy it. I did not buy it. So whenever he would come, I would go hide. I didn't like, and of course, like back then, like the priest was like God, basically. So yeah, my family, my grandparent and all, like they truly believed in him. What little did they know, and they trusted their kids with him. He used to take all these boys, these altar boys, and bring them to a camp. And he abused them, abused them all. So now I understand why I felt it. I felt it wasn't normal.
Instinct. Yeah.
So yeah. So me, like, it was instilled in me, but it didn't work. because I still read between the lines, and I still,
Yeah.
I didn't, yeah, I kind of, and now I completely stepped away. Like I never felt comfortable, yeah, in the confines of a church ever. And I remember my uncle, when he got married, I was supposed to be the flower girl. And when I saw that priest in front, I refused. I refused. And they were getting married like the week after, and this was like the practice. I had my dress and everything. And I remember the dress. It was like kind of like a cream color, and there was like nice little roses on them. And anyway, and as soon as I saw that priest in front, I refused. I refused to go near, and my cousin had to take my place. So yeah, I knew. I just knew. I've always known, I guess.
I wanted to add something to the third eye, like the course that I'm taking, the shamanist course. We use oil, the frankincense oil,
Oh, that's a good oil.
and we open the third eye. When you open something, when you open, they open it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Frankincense is it's a sacred oil. It's a sacred
Yeah.
oil in a lot. It's more expensive than the other oils. It's really, and if you think about it, like, again, we were talking about religion, but like, if you're Catholic, you've learned about myrrh and frankincense and all that, like, when they brought the gifts to
I got some frankincense,
Jesus, right? So
I like those.
so there's a reason why. There's a reason why those oils are sacred, and because they're powerful. Powerful.
Yes.
Very. One's masculine, one's feminine, and they knew when to use those as well. Like if you've done any kind of rituals where frankincense or myrrh was somewhat of a requirement, I don't want to say a requirement, but it's one of the things that they use. Then yeah, you would understand the power of them, and even using them together. Yeah, they've taken a lot of the same sacred things and used it, and you don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Even for sounds, frequencies, frequencies that resonate with different organs in your body. Just imagine the frequencies that are being used to manipulate how you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
even like the music.
Who you think you're listening to is what I'm concerned about. That part.
Well, the music industry is, everything.
Oh,
We
yeah.
all know that everything is in the same pot, right? The music industry, we all know what all that's about. But the music today, like the popular music, the pop music and all that, it's like one or two like numbers below what
Yeah.
the right frequencies would be. So that's to keep us in a lower vibration. So yeah, and when you start to listen to solfeggio and all that, makes the difference.
Yeah, you'd have to go back and listen to old stuff. If you want to really tune into some frequencies, you've got to get, like actual albums, Ella Fitzgerald, singers like that who sang at certain pitches. She could break crystal. So if you could find old music that's still where you can hear it, not just it plays, but if you're using any type of devices, earphones or whatever, it has to be able to resonate at those frequencies. Those are even set to distort frequency sounds coming in. But that's those old musics, you would have to find them to, and have the right tools even. If you for music, singing bowls,
I love singing bowls.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with them. They're in your homes with you, so.
Singing bowls and mermaid voices. That's what gets me.
Wow.
I love drumming also.
Yes, drumming.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's sort of that does it.
Drumming. Yeah, I love the drumming.
I can't remember the name. I only came across it once. I wish I'd come across it again, but it was a shaman music. And there was this lady. She must have been about in her 20s, and she had the most beautiful voice, and she was singing like in a light language, way, I expect, with the shaman music and the drums at the background. It was so beautiful, and it made so much peace within me when I heard it, and I could never find it again. That I've been searching for it for such a long time. It was so beautiful. It was like this, I can't explain it. It was like as if she was like an angel with an angel voice, with this beautiful, like angelic light language symphony that, you know, really tapped into my soul. And it's hard to find music like that nowadays, you know?
It is.
So it's like I do tend to find it difficult to actually find things to listen to. So I'm always looking for, when I search in YouTube, I say positive songs, positive vibrations, positive. I would find something to listen to.
But Liman, when you mentioned it, when you were describing her, there's one that I listened to. I haven't listened to for a while, but her name is she's Asian. MEI Moritz or something like that. Let me
This one
find
was
her.
an Asian.
Oh, okay. So it's not wouldn't be the same, but this one might resonate with you. She's like an angel. She's like an angel
She
singing.
was like on hair, but it wasn't just one person. They were like she was singing in the middle, and they were like around her. And they were like doing this sort of like the shaman dance thing, and she was singing.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, her name is Mei-lan. Mei-lan. Here, I'll share.
Let me see if I can search and find her again. Got me in her mind now.
Here, I will.
If I find her, I'll definitely share it with you.
I'll share it in the chat here.
Yeah, I mean, she wasn't Asian, definitely, because she had white skin and she was blonde. So
Oh,
she
okay.
was Asian.
Yeah, no, this one is yeah, you can listen to it maybe because she plays the crystal bowls at the same time, and she channels at the same time as she sings. Yeah. So anyway, I shared it in the chat here in the Zoom. Yeah. So yeah, so wow, look at the time.
Conversation.
Time flies by when you're having heated discussions or interesting discussions and talking about fairy.
Everything spiritual.
Yeah, I could talk all night. I could talk all night, but I guess we're gonna have to, I think maybe close for now, so that other people.
Mic's off. Lena's trying to say something, but her
Your
mic's
mic's off.
I
Oh,
wanted to share a little something with you guys.
sure. Oh, the puppies! Yes.
I don't know how to turn my camera. So hold on here. I got 4.
Oh my goodness.
Her pup just had pups.
The little one, I want to show the little girl.
Oh, look at that.
Why
Oh,
we just fall in love with little baby puppies.
aw.
How sweet.
Yeah, mama.
You're so cute.
That's the mama.
Yeah, she's like, hey, put her down now. That's enough.
There's 4 in all.
Oh,
This is her second litter, right?
Yeah, she had 4 boys last summer.
Oh,
4
just boys. Wow.
Yeah, and this round, 2 girls, 2 boys.
Oh.
Oh, so cute.
Come on, baby. I want to go out, eh?
It makes the home that gives good energy to a home. All these little babies.
They're amazing.
Babies running around. Any babies, I think, if they're running around in little groups, it's just a bunch of giggles and little barks.
Yeah, and I have 4 of my own.
Oh,
We've got baby
they're
kittens running around.
Okay, come on, girl. Want to go out?
we've got 2 boys and 3 girls. We've given actually 1 boy and 1 girl to my brother. So yeah, and another one came as we don't have any at all. And followed my daughter from school home, and it's a little grey kitten. And she's, Mum, please can we keep this one? And I'm like, I have so many, right? I'm like, okay, let's take it. Okay, fine, no more. But they are adorable and they're so playful as well.
Oh, so cute. I have we adopted a stray cat from our community. She's a Persian, a pure breed Persian, and she was left abandoned by her owners. Like she was only like 2 months old. But she's not, we didn't get her fixed yet. And I'm kind of like, oh, I would love to have little kittens, but there's already enough kittens in this community. So will I be able to give them away? Will I be able, so it's, if I had a bigger house with a big yard, I would probably say yes. No, go find a friend and come back. And then I would probably keep them, but yeah, I think it will be better if I just
Don't fix her, just give her birth control, then you can change your mind later. But if you fix her, you can't change your mind later.
There's birth control for cats?
Of course there is.
Really?
You give them a pill every once a week. I do that with mine, and then if I want to have a litter, I can have a litter. I have a holy bear mare.
Oh, and does she go in heat?
Sure, just take away the pill, and then like after 2 weeks, she's in heat.
Oh, okay. No, because but like, does the pill stop the heat?
Wait, I gotta process
Yes.
this.
Oh.
The birth control pill for cats, it just stops the heat, and if you take it away, then it takes like 2 or 3 weeks, and then she's in heat.
Oh, okay.
And then you can make a litter, but I definitely advise you to find another Persian so that you get a whole breed instead of just something.
Yeah.
Instead of just a mix, because that's what I do with my girl cat. I don't know what it's called if it's a female cat. She's had 2 litters, 3 litters. I don't remember, but I give her birth control, and then if somebody wants, I have to admit that I breed them to sell them, and if somebody says, "Oh, please make a litter, I want a kitten or 2," then I do.
That is wow. That is every time we have conversations, Wendy, someone raises the bar even more. Like, this is blowing my mind.
Why?
Yeah.
I would never have thought of anything like, but if you're a breeder, I guess you would know, but I don't think the average person knows that there is a such thing.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. I really wasn't, because I'm kind of like
processing the whole thing. But if you're
I want to get her fixed so that her heat goes away, because when she's in heat and she's not going outside,
horrible.
It's horrible. And believe me, she sounds like she's being murdered.
Oh yeah, there's one out here.
It's really bad.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Like somebody's killing her. So like we have we're upstairs, right? So I don't let her go downstairs, but we have like a deck. So I let her go there, but
poor neighbors.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe I'll consider that.
Go get birth control. It doesn't take long. It's like give her a pill, and then like in a few days the heat's gone, and then you just repeatedly give her one.
I'll have to talk to the vet about that. I'm not sure they'd have that here though. They're kind of not like birth control, even for women. They don't have it here.
Of course they do.
I'm sure we would probably have more cats, and we'd hear more of those sounds if they didn't have something that they were able to do. It may not be cheap, but I bet you it's here.
I'll have to ask them.
Otherwise, if you can't get it, just tell me. I'll ask my vet to prescribe more, and I'll just send them to you. No problem.
Oh, or if I know somebody that comes here, they could bring it or something. Yeah.
That is
it might be a problem out of Europe to Egypt. If I'm selling birth control pills, I guess that could be a problem.
It probably would. They probably would keep it at
But
the
I really
customs.
can't imagine that you're not able to get birth control pills for cats in Egypt. Of course you
That's
can.
what they should have instead of, getting them because there's
Yeah.
so many strays. It's Ramona knows. Like you've seen the strays that's in Egypt.
It makes
It's-
sense.
But
It
when
makes
you do
sense
the
to fix
numbers-
the sprays.
Yeah,
Mm.
but yeah, when you do the number, when you look at the numbers, I think it would be worse. It would be much more if they weren't doing something.
Mm.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? They would just be out of control because cats don't have just one baby. They have a bunch of them. They have them
Oh
over
yeah,
the-
well, just to give you an example, I'm helping one of my, like, there's a couple of women in our community, in our compound, like, that's what we do. We bring stray cats and get them fixed to help with this population, but there's these 4 kittens. They were like, maybe, I don't know, a month and a half to 2 months old. We found them last fall. But they were too young to get fixed. So my friend went back to Portugal, and then when she came back, all 4 of them were pregnant at the same time. So they each had, and they're sisters. They're 4 sisters, and they each had 4 or 5 kittens each. So
Yeah.
now we're gonna have to bring those kittens to get. She brought the moms. Finally, like when they stopped nursing and stuff, to get fixed, and now we're waiting for the babies because
The thing is that the cat needs to weigh 2 kilos before they fix it. It doesn't have to anything to do with how old they are. It has
they have
to
to
do
be
with how much they
big
weigh.
enough.
Yeah.
Big enough. Yeah. So
Wow,
yeah,
very interesting.
this
Well, I'm
so
sure.
yeah, so we went on quite a tangent there.
Well, yeah, it's funny because I'm sure the ancient Egyptians had probably a method for that we're just not aware of.
They probably did. I don't know. Not sure. They must have had something.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sure. They did something.
Egyptians are very popular, aren't they, with the cats?
Yeah, they idolized cats actually.
Oh, they were,
Yeah,
they
they-
were
they-
part
that-
of worship. and
Worship
ritual.
cats as well.
They
The
worshipped
ancient
them, yeah.
Egyptians, they worshipped cats. Yeah.
Yeah, the cats were held in high regards because of I think it was maybe it's lost in translation, but I think it was because of the frequencies and then the cat's abilities and the way a cat's agility. So
6 cents.
they were used in rituals because of their frequencies, where you can tap into different types of other frequencies or matching that frequency a cat can reach or match.
Yeah.
And
Cats
so
are pretty
they're held in
amazing.
high regard. Yeah, it's amazing because you could be here in a restaurant. Now they'll shoo the cats away, but they don't. Not the way they would, somewhere else, like poison them to get rid of them or something, or call. They wouldn't.
Yeah,
would
they
never
just shoo them away, or they
just
give
shoo
them.
away.
Yeah, they
Feed
feed
them.
them. Yeah, people
Yeah.
feed them.
So as long as they look after them.
It makes sense if the restaurants keep feeding the cats, because then they will stay around and then they will catch all the mice and the rats.
Yeah, you don't see any of those. I haven't
Yeah,
seen.
there's no
one.
rats or I haven't seen
that.
any.
I've seen more. I've seen ferrets. I've seen ferrets running around, which are so cool because they run around. They stand on their hind legs and they're like this tall. And they're like, I'm like,
Yeah, we have a ferret in our
America.
compound actually.
Yeah. But I haven't seen a rodent. I've been here
me
almost
neither.
a year and a half now. I haven't seen one.
Oh, but there's plenty of cats to eat to take care of that problem.
Yeah. So they're not starving unless the rodents, that population has dropped so low that they're fighting over them. Oh wow, this is amazing.
Amazing discussion. Yeah. So I think I
Going
will
on and on. Every topic opens up another subject.
Right?
We'll be here until the morning. We'll have to get a big coffee pot.
I'm gonna run down the street to a cafe and have some Turkish coffee and some shisha. That's what I'm gonna do before I come back and work.
Yeah. So yeah, so I guess we're gonna call it a night, and it was great to be back. It's great to be back. I'm so happy to be back. I had missed these. Like we
Yeah,
need
It's
these.
amazing. I thought about
Coffee
like,
chats.
Wendy hasn't done one of her, and then you messaged me like 15 minutes later, I saw a message. And then I saw the other one, like, are you coming? I'm like, you were reading my mind. Like we were in sync at that
We're
time.
connected. We're connected.
Yeah, definitely.
We feel each other. So no, yeah, it's been since January, I think, last time I had one. There was always something, either I was sick or I was working or there was always something happening. So, and not now I'm like, no. I can't push this back anymore. All the goddesses worldwide need these. We need a place to be able to speak freely and, just to shoot the shit. Pardon my French.
Shoot the shit.
But yeah.
We've
so-
shot the shit. We've done well.
Shot the shit. Yeah, we shot it pretty good.
It was
Feel free to talk about anything you want here.
So thank you so much for watching, everyone, and we'll be back next week, same time, same place. Grab your, make sure you have a coffee pot ready.
Oh, I'll have some coffee
and
next
you can,
time.
you can handle our discussions, our long discussions about all sorts of stuff.
My stuff is good too.
Yeah. Actually, mine's empty. I'm running on empty now. See, there's nothing left in it.
Time.
So thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Liman, Ramona, Bitten, and Lena for joining me. From my heart to yours, the goddess in me honors the goddess in you. And we will see you next week. Bye.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Hey.
Bye.
Namaha.
I stopped the recording now. So
Awesome.
So we will see you next week then.
Okay.
That was fun.
That was fun. Yeah, can't wait for the next one.
See what we're going to talk about next week.
Okay. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.